This is Kamera again. We're on day number 115, 2 Kings chapter 12, 13, and 14. There's a lot to cover here. I'm going to try and get through it. It's kind of hard to explain this one, I guess, because there are so many different kings with those hard names and what they had done. We'll try, right? So we're, again, day 115, 2 Kings chapter 12 through 14. The first one up, Joash. Joash is 7 years old when he began to rule, and he was practically raised, well, he was raised in the temple. He's been in the temple since he was a little old thing. I would say 7 years because Athaliah had ruled for 7 years. So, yeah. So now he's king at 7 years. And in the previous chapter, you'll see how Jehoiada put it all together and made it and arranged it where he could become, so that he can be placed in position. So Joash, he actually followed the Lord up until Jehoiada died, the priest. Yeah. So, he reigned 40 years. And when he got into position, Jehu was in his 7th year. Jehu of Israel was in his 7th year as king. So some of the things one of the things that Joash did was he repaired the temple. Remember, the temple was totally messed up. He went in and he repaired the temple. Joash was basically, You guys are going to hear more about Joash later on. But for now, know that he was assassinated by his trusted advisors, who happen to be his officers, 2 of them. King Hazael pretty much terrorized him as well, and he paid off he paid off King Hazael to back off. Now Hazael, I know you guys remember him. I mentioned him a few times, and we read him in back a few chapters where he had killed his the king of Aram, and took his position. So that's how he became king. He was a trusted messenger, trusted servant of the previous king Ben-Hadad, and he killed him. So now he's king. Hazael is now king of Aram. This guy even terrorized Israel on top of that. He killed most of the soldiers of Israel. He left them with about, I believe, like 10,000, a few chariots and what have you, and charioteers. But he killed most of theirs, and he oppressed the children of Israel for a very, very long time. At this point, let's see, Jehoash, son of Jehu, he reigned the 23rd year. He got into a position the 23rd year of Joash. Remember, Joash reigned for 40 years. So the 23rd year of Joash, Israel's new king was the son of Jehu. Jehoaz. I don't know, guys, read these words. I know I'm botching them. And he reigned for 17 years. He did evil in the sight of God, and he followed the ways of Jeroboam. You guys already know Jeroboam led the children of Israel to sin. God was angry with him, and he allowed King Hazael of Aram to oppress them. Guys, guess what Hazael named his son? Hazael named his son Ben-Hadad. Isn't that crazy? He named him after the man he killed, the king he killed, whose position he took. So him and his son basically terrorized the Israelites. And this is the thing. Jehoaz, you guys, please. He prayed and asked God, and prayed to God. God sent someone to Israel to deliver them from Hazael. And they were safe from what I read. Israel became safe again, like they were back in the day. But guess what, guys? Israel continued to sin. They continued to sin. Yeah, oh my gosh, these names. After Jehoaz, oh my God, these names. His son, Jehoaz, Jehoash, yeah, Jehoahaz is the son of Jehu. Jehoash is the son of Jehoahaz. These names. He became, he got in his position as king the 37th year of Joash, and he reigned 16 years. Oh my gosh. He followed Jeroboam's ways as well. This one here, though, when Elisha was dying, he actually visited Elisha, and he cried because it looked like he really, really loved Elisha. But Elisha told him some of the things that, told him some prophecies where it involved he had to shoot an arrow. He had to slam the arrow, a few arrows, a few times, and he gave him a prophecy. For one, he was going to conquer Aram, and he was going to conquer him, I think, for down to like 3 generations or 4 times. Yeah. So Elisha dies. Joash, during his reign, he recaptured the towns that Hazael had taken from them after Hazael had died. His son was in charge, Ben-Hadad, and God allowed Jehoaz to recapture those towns. Now, get this. Remember, I told you Elisha died, right? And they put him in a tomb. And during this time, the Moabites used to terrorize and raid the land. And so during a time where I guess a group of Israelites were burying someone, and when they saw the Moabites, instead of burying the guy, they threw him in Elisha's tomb. And how about when that dead guy touched Elijah, he came back to life? Isn't that something? That's power there, right? The Spirit of God was still on Elisha even after he was dead. All right, fast forward. Amaziah. Did I mention that Joash was assassinated? Joash was assassinated. He was assassinated. I did mention it earlier, but his son Amaziah came into play, and it was the 2nd year of Jehoash. He reigned for 29 years. He was faithful to God as Joash was, but not as David. So there were some shrines that he allowed to stay erected. He killed this dude. He kills 10,000 Edomites, right? And so after he kills those 10,000 Edomites, now he want to battle Israel. And so the king of Israel at the time was Jehoash, right? He is the grandson of Jehu. This guy, he says, listen, Amaziah, I know you're proud of yourself that you defeated the Edomites, but don't get ahead of yourself. Don't do anything stupid calling me out to battle. It's not going to turn out well for the Israelites if you do anything like that. But look at this, guys. He did warn them, though. Joash did warn Amaziah that he do not want to come up against him. He didn't listen. And what he did was he not only captured Amaziah, but he also captured his son as well. And this Joash, he went and tore down the wall of Jerusalem, 600 feet wall of Jerusalem. He tore that down as well. And he stole a lot of, took the gold, silver, and articles of the temple from Jerusalem. And he took hostages from Jerusalem as well. Now, this dude here, he did warn Amaziah. When he eventually died, though, Amaziah, he still lived 15 years after the death of Jehoaz. Guys, read it. I'm botching up these names. So please read it, and you'll get something out of it. Ask God to help you to understand and to find interest in it. Dude, honestly. Now remember, Jehoaz, he was the king of Israel. How about he named his son Jehoah. He named his son Jeroboam II. Right? Jeroboam II. He reigned, got into his position the 15th year of Amaziah, and he reigned for 41 years. He followed Jeroboam's ways. He recovered some of Israel's territories as well. And his son, who reigned after him, is Zechariah. I wrote down the things I didn't want to forget because there was so much, and it was kind of like all these different kings that came about. They mentioned kings from Israel, kings from Judah, and they mentioned king from Aram, and they each did different things. And yeah, so guys, read the word, ask God for understanding, and yeah, you got this. This was day number 115, 2 Kings chapter 12 through 14. You have God. Feel blessed day.